over to a truck. I actually see a truck, and I see a truck with like a handyman things on the back. I don't know if that means a ladder or tools or paint buckets, but it's interesting. The driver of the truck, I feel, is different from the person who abducted her, who I feel is different from the person who orchestrated it. So I'm getting like a lineage of 3 different people. So I feel that it's very, very enmeshed with different groups of people. What I do see, and it's very interesting, somebody took her down to a pond or a stream. I do feel like she was summoned out of her house. The person that summoned her, she knew this person. I see her 3 siblings, and I'm not sure how old her oldest brother is, but this is somebody that's like her oldest brother. This is somebody who is either acquainted with her oldest brother, familiar with the family, connected through the oldest brother. This could be school, after school program, baseball, basketball, scootering, dirt bike riding, whatever it is. I get a connection. So this is somebody that has communicated with Summer's oldest sibling. See immediately with the shaving of the head, power and control. She was being prepared for something. Summer's hair, from what I'm feeling, was shaved in order to teach her a lesson. She spoke out about something. There was a speaking out of something. So her head got shaved. The wording that I heard, okay, was an elite deacon. Elite deacon. I went back to the month of March. So in the month of March, April, Easter, this is being thought about since that time frame. Their side, mother or father's side, was hearing what was going on. It is not their fault though, because I don't feel they're the ones that orchestrated this. I feel that there is a connection in a different way, and I feel that there is a theological or religious aspect to this. So in other words, somebody from that group of people, which comes from the father's side of the family, meaning the father's energy, not his side, what the father does in his life, the father's energy, it's connected like this. The church was watching. I really get that. So it's handed on down. Okay. Again, the word elite deacon. I don't know what or who the deacon is. Then I get 3 men. There are 3 men. I want to put the person in the church. I want to say a grandfather figure, but not a biological grandfather. So this is somebody in the neighborhood that people look up to as a grandfather type of figure. I also want to say that there is a connection to the oldest male sibling of Summers. And the connection is to another boy who would be within proximity of age. That could be within 5 to 10 years of the older sibling's age. So a kid, but maybe an early adult. She left the house willingly. She skipped around the side. She skipped around the side and she skipped over. I can see her talking to somebody, and I can see her grabbing a bucket, and I don't know what the bucket's for. I can see her grabbing a bucket. So it's like if I said to you, let's grab the bucket and go feed the dogs. Let's feed the horses. Let's feed the chickens, whatever. That they're going to try to make it one person's fault, but it isn't. There's 3 of them connected to it. And it was specific. It was planned out. She was prepped with her head being shaved. That does not mean the person who shaved her head knew anything about this. Summer was being set up and prepared for this. She was prepared. She was prepared for this. Her hair was shaved for this reason. She was in the process of being prepared. She was laid down on something. This wasn't really an accident. This was a thought out plan to grab this child. Definitely abducted. I do feel like the oldest boy sibling, and I don't know those kids' names, understands or thinks he knows what happened. Not because he saw it, but because he knows it. Like he's thinking about it, and it's thinking. So I do feel that. I don't feel like she was struggled out of her house. I don't feel like anybody put a bag over her head and took her away. But what I do see is that after she was taken, something was put over her face to make her sleep. I do see that. The city is blocking something. So the people in the neighborhood are blocking something. Obviously not all of them, but there is a block to what's going on. You will not hear about it for a while. I do feel they know what happened to her. Somebody knows what happened to her, and I'm not talking about in the family. I'm talking about in law enforcement. There's a feeling of like, we know what happened to this little girl. And I do feel that's going to come out sometime around mid-August, like the 18th. But then I'm jumping into the Christmas season again, and I'm not understanding what's going on. I'm hearing denials. I'm hearing people talking. There's some sort of a woman stepping up defending what appears to be like her son, and it's not Summer's mother. It's somebody else's mother with blonde, kind of wavy, and not blonde like my hair, natural blonde hair, or like sun-kissed hair, brown hair with like highlights from the sun, kind of a red face, so a little bit Irish looking woman. And I'm seeing her, kind of a sunburnt face. I'm seeing her, and she's yelling at people for thinking that it's her family member. And this to me feels like a child. So she's defending a child over here. This I see, it's very strange. So I split on it, and I go in 3 different directions. I'm going to say it again. Elite deacon, grandfather figure, oldest sibling, male acquaintance of older sibling is how I want to word that. Not known to the older sibling, like none of this was discussed, he has nothing to do with it. But again, I see 3 people. The day she disappeared, I see her going up to somebody, and it seems to me to be a lighter colored truck that's like a handyman truck. So somebody with a ladder or paint buckets or hammers and tools or wood or, you know, stuff like that in the back of this truck. So it's like a Toyota something. It's not a huge truck. It's like a Toyota whatever truck, but it feels like that. That's a lighter colored truck. That's just how I'm seeing it. When I look and I ask about Summer's energy, I'm feeling another weird thing I'm going to say. They tried to keep Summer like you would keep a pet, to feed her, to keep her connected. But I'm almost feeling when they find her or understand what happened to her, there's been a mass cover-up. Everybody's scrambling to distance themselves, to get away, to remove things, to take off, to hide it, to not be caught. This little girl literally was targeted. She happily went out of her house. Nothing scared her. So she knows this person. Nothing scared her. She wasn't kidnapped by, you know, scary guy in the bushes, scary guy in the truck, you know, rape van. It's not that. This is somebody. The person, they came by Summer in what I want to say is like a Toyota truck. The person that came by Summer and picked her up, talked to her, was sent by someone else who was older. So like an errand boy, a runner, a person that does errands for you, your handyman helper, works with his dad, carpenter, handyman, something along these lines, fixing houses, painting, but I get paint buckets. So that could be somebody who's a painter in the local town, or they were just fixing up something in their house and carrying stuff. I mean, we've all done that too. But I do feel this. The person in the truck was younger. I'm seeing older, somebody, let's just say somebody in their 60s, church deacon. I don't know what a deacon means exactly. I don't know what church that belongs to, but church deacon. Grandfather figure, who I take to be older. We'll just put them as a grandfather age, say 70. I mean, you can be a grandfather at 50, we know this, but I'm going to put them at the traditional grandfather age in their 70s, and then I'm going to put somebody about the age of 17 through 23. I feel all 3 of these men are Caucasian, and I feel like Summer knowingly knew the person. So this is somebody who betrayed another person who knew them. This is a betrayal for some, but there's a reason for it. Like, there's a reason. It's like, I'm getting back at you. This is a betrayal of some kind. This is a betrayal to Summer. It's I'm getting even with you.